One of my friend, he's now working at a company as software engineer, making about $150,000 a year. He's 27, I just turned 28. So it's a decent salary, especially when there's so many layoff news happening around us. His company gives him Codex, but he picked up with Claude Code. And he's been doing a lot of his personal projects lately. He's trying to make side hustles. We met at Jack Astor's. I was basically asking him, do you think your job is going to be replaced one day as well because you've been doing it so well? Actually, no, I think he actually brought it up. He's like, come on, I've been using Claude, I've been using Codex. I'm pretty sure in the future we don't need software engineers anymore. That actually surprised me because I thought for a long time he's like the other guys out there who put software engineer as his identity. Makes my parents proud, make 150K, whatever. And he's really honest about the fact that he might be replaced. But the word he uses might. He basically said, I might even be replaced one day. And the word I want you to think about is might, right? Not will, but might. And yes, I mean, absolutely, right? He might keep his job for as long as it takes. He might go into his 40s, his 50s, or even retire while still being a software engineer, but still possible. My brain's defense mechanism is gonna feel hurt if I say I will be laid off. It makes me sound incompetent. It makes me sound not confident enough. It makes me sound like a doomer, right? That, oh, all of our jobs are gonna be gone. No one wants to be that. And I think perhaps a little bit of us believe in ourselves. Anyone else can be laid off, but just not us. Like, we can still survive because we're biased, because we are us. We are us 24/7. We live with us 24/7. Of course, we don't believe we'll be the one that can. And eventually on the market right now, like the recent layoffs, like Meta, Microsoft, Nike, I'm sure the people, the thousands and tens of thousands of people, I'm sure they thought it wouldn't be them either. A majority of them, right? A lot of them wouldn't think, oh, I'll be canned. I mean, okay, companies announcing 7,000, okay, I'll be canned. I don't think anyone thinks that. So the word might is doing a lot of heavy lifting. And honestly, there is something else is that all those software developer friend of mine, they're all thinking about like a gig. They're all thinking about doing a side project that is going to be subsidize their existing work. Almost everyone I talk to feel like they don't have any drive in their work anymore. They don't see their current job as something that motivates them. No one is really thinking about, I just work hard for 2 years and then I'll be my next level, I'll get promoted, I'll have more salaries, right? I have only one friend. Everyone else is just like, yeah, I'm happy where I am. I'm happy I'm not being laid off right now, and I'm just happy like wherever I am. Like, I don't really want to move much. And it seems like they're just like not really happy about their jobs. But instead of tackling that on, they're just thinking about like, how do I do gigs? Of course, it wouldn't be working, driving Lyft or Uber, right? It has to be something smart. Like, the idea is that, okay, let's build an app that connects people with people, an app that like makes people more fit. It's those things that takes efforts, that looks easy. Okay, build an app, charge people $10 a month and they will come, right? Or build an online community, have a lot of audiences, and then I can sell my courses. And I think the sources of that always traces back to the online hustling economy, right? The hustle type of thing. And you can be so successful, you can have so much money. And I'll tell you why it's poison and toxic. It's because I've known a lot of people, right? Like my immediate network, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, many of them successful. I know investors, I know people who are actually made in their life, and not one of them became rich or successful, or more importantly, content about themselves, right? Satisfied with themselves because of whatever side hustle that they do. They are serious about just one thing. They focus on one thing. That could be a skill that they have. It could be a company that they have. It could be something that they really believe in. It's because they focus on that one thing and really took off. And people who spend their time juggling around different things, eventually they don't become successful. They are so spread out thin, and to do one thing well actually is pretty hard. Being successful on social media is very hard. Start something where you're part-time and making that your primary like income, or even like a very good supportive income source, it takes more efforts than what people think. That is why I think like there are two things that we really have screwed up as a younger generation. The first is that we might be laid off, we might not be laid off, right? Our future might change, but most likely it won't change. So we just live normally and refuse to change. That's most of us, hundreds of millions of us think that way, if not more. And the second is that buying into this hustle thing, that whatever I'm making now, it's not enough. So I need to hustle, I need to make more money, I need to try different platforms. I'm sure none of them will actually be okay to drive Lyft or Uber, food deliveries, right? DoorDash, or be a barista at Starbucks is pretty good. People think of they want to hustle and hustle. At the end of the day, your hustle is just, it's not really a hustle, it's a fantasy, because you're imagining that you will do something one day, whether it's building apps or doing something that's glamorous. But glamorous things don't always make money, you know? So I think most people are trapped because of that. I think my friend who's like the 150K engineer, he's probably actively training and helping AI at his company to slowly replace him and his coworkers. I don't know the specifics about what's happening at his company, but what's happening at Meta, I have a few friends there. They have recently started installing mandatory employee tracking system on their company laptops. And specifically, it can track their mouse movements. It can track which browser they're browsing, which page they're browsing. It can track exactly what they type on the keyboard. But you're like, George, isn't this surveillance? Yes, it is surveillance, but they're branding it differently, right? So they're saying, we have acquired this company that's doing this data labeling for AI. What better sources of data can we get than our own employees, right? Let our own employees track their laptops, see what they do, track the logs, and then train our AI with it. And then we'll have better AI because everyone who's working at Meta is a genius. It's really smart. That's literally what they think. People are revolting. There's no way of you taking that off your laptops because it is on your company laptop. Your company, of course, decide what software to live on that laptop, decide what to track on that laptop. But it's really evasive. Like, how can you even type a Slack message like bashing a certain coworker who's being mean to you, or complain about your company, or just anything that's like personal? How do you do that? People are saying, oh, George, it's a company laptop, they can do that. Yeah, they can, of course, but like, aren't you training your own replacement at that point? If you do have some sort of integrity and you are smart, if you work at Meta, obviously, wouldn't you know what's gonna happen? Like, aren't you just training your own replacement at that point? And quite frankly, like, I personally was also in the mic camp. Last year in 2025, I was running like a subscription company for software. Of course, I know AI is coming. I know like how powerful these labs, I know more people are adopting them. I just keep giving myself excuses about why it's not gonna happen to me. I'm like, we're a niche. We are focusing on this specific group of customers. So this is never gonna happen to us because like our industry, construction, is so specific. They can't do that. They can't replace us, right? That when that started to lose track, when there are some construction tech that uses AI that came up, I just pivoted to some other reasons. Our customers are loyal. They've been with us for like 5-6 years. They're always good customers. They've been with us for the toughest times. They will be with us now as well. I was, to be honest, just keep finding excuses. I wasn't even saying might. I was just like straight out denial. I would just deny. I would say like, it's not possible to replace us. It might come, okay, but not now. 2028 maybe, 2030 maybe. It's not gonna come now. Eventually, I guess like last year, for the last couple months of last year, I just eventually realized what a losing game I was fighting. Like what an idiot I was. To be quite frankly. And then, yeah, I shut it down. I'm not saying I'm just better. I'm absolutely not. I'm just the guy that have failed myself, and then I'm looking back at my friends and I'm seeing similar patterns, and I'm seeing that denials and saying might and doing this hustle thing. A hustle thing too. I was the guy that thinks my primary thing was boring, like this construction thing. Like I was like, oh, it's boring. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna do trading. And that's my secondary. I'm gonna do something else as a thirdary. But then, yes, looking back again, I was an idiot because nothing eventually worked out. Wasted my professional life of 3 to 4 years. I do it again? Absolutely not. Do I regret it? Yeah, absolutely yes, right? I could have used those years to do something better with my life instead of just like chasing different things, thinking that, okay, this makes money, to go do that, right? And then this thinking process though, I would say it is mainstream. This Andrew Tate is mainstream. As much as people hate him, he's mainstream, right? And this hustle culture is mainstream. As much as we hate it, this is the thing, the default mode most people believe is right. They did believe hustle culture is right? Or they believe might is right. At the end of the day, like, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying like, we really need to think about like, has it really served us well or not? Or are we just buying ourselves time and be like, you know, dancing and singing until we eventually hit the wall? And for my friends who work in these different places and who are making 150K, good for them. You know, I really hope they figure it out. I really hope they can drop the hustle thing. I just think it's an excuse to not look back at your career more seriously and really asking yourself, what do I really want? Like if you're miserable at a company, like why are you there? Really, like if you need money and stuff, most people, they're not like desperate for money. They're just like, I will just be there for 1 more year, 2 more years until I do X, right? Whatever that X is, could be, oh, a new job or whatever, or a new house or get a down payment. These are all good reasons. It's just like, think about it, like years of life will be gone, will be wasted in a way to just do the auto loops. Auto loops, come to work, hate your work, and think about side hustles. And eventually years after, you'll be like, oh geez, I have nothing. I've done nothing in my life. And I hope that it's not gonna happen with one of you guys who are watching. I hope if this is you, definitely think about it, right? Don't go with that default route. Don't go with the easy route. At least just like, I'm not saying to quit your job or something. Just really sit down and think, what does really matters? Like, what is the thing that I really wanna do that I couldn't do right now? What lies am I telling myself, right? This has nothing to do with AI or job market or whatever. It's about to do with yourself. And I hope that you'll find the right answer to that.